Are you a dungeon master that feels pressure to say no all the time because you don't have the rule support to properly adjudicate the things that your players want to try out? Or, on the other hand, are you a player whose dungeon master always says no to every suggestion that you have, no matter what you ask? They just no. Well, in either case, this one 3-letter word will solve all of your problems and not only make you a better game master or player, but it's gonna like elevate your game to the peak of what it could be. And that simple 3-letter word that we all know is how. This word will completely change how you play every tabletop RPG, because I'm the Brewmaster, and here at Encounter it's all about creating a community, getting rid of those schisms between the dungeon master and the players, the game master and the players. There's no need for that here. We want to give you the solutions to run those fun games, to give you the tools to make those epic campaigns where everybody's happy, is having fun, and is engaged. Without further ado, let's get into it. The very first reason why we want to use how as a dungeon master or a player is 1. Player engagement. The number one reason that you want to do this as a dungeon master is because you are the game, you're generating the content, but you're not supposed to be playing the content. You just put the problems in the player's way and then they have to solve the problem. No matter what the RPG is, the players engaging their brain and doing that problem solving in their imagination, that is them playing the game. So if ever a player asks you a yes or no question, is something possible, can I do that? You as the DM, it's not your job to tell them no. If you walk up to a tree, a really big tree outside, and you decide to climb it, the tree is not going to tell you, you can't climb me, the DC is too high. And that's just impossible. It's up to you as the person trying to climb that tree to decide if you can and how you're going to do it. How you're going to do it. Are you going to use your raw strength? Are you going to go get a ladder and put it against the tree and try to climb it that way using your smarts? And just like real life doesn't give you the answers you have to discover organically, your game will feel more immersive if you take the same philosophy with your players. Can we climb this giant sheer wall? You may have it in your notes that no, of course they can't climb this wall. It's 100 feet of sheer marble, no perches. It's impossible for them to do it. And an inexperienced or an immature DM might be tempted to just simply say no. But I would implore you to instead say, how are you going to do that? I don't know. If you've already explained to them that it's 100 feet of sheer marble, then really it is on the player to now play the game, because you want the player to be engaging, constantly engaging, and so you want to kick it back into their court as soon as possible. They ask you, can we do something? You want to say how, because now they're engaging with that game again. They're thinking. Everybody is going to stop talking, and you're going to see everybody breaking out their character sheets, looking at what equipment, what spells they have. Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we maybe try this? And they're going to start talking amongst each other, and that is the player engagement. That is them working that brain and staying involved in your game. And so by saying how, you're eliminating that gap of time where people start getting bored, right? Because can we climb this wall? No. And that stops the fun right there. Can I climb this wall? How? Now the player's like, And that is what you want. Because even if they spend the whole session arguing about how to climb this wall, they'll still feel like they had fun because they will have been engaged the entire time. And that is what you want. Also, it allows you to say no without really saying no. Because when you say, how are you going to do this? 9 times out of 10, the player will eventually reach the conclusion that something is impossible. Like, they'll talk their self down. Like, how are you going to climb this sheer 100-foot wall? They're going to look at their gear and be like, well, I don't have any ropes. I don't have any spells. I don't have anything. They're going to be like, well, I guess I can't. Okay. Well, then what else can I try? And that will feel more organic, because that's how real life works. And they're not going to be feeling like you're shutting them down. You're giving them the open option of, if you want this to happen, how are you going to do it? You, the DM, have not told them no. They have reached that natural conclusion on their own, and that will save you a lot of arguments at the table, trust me. Now, secondly, the reason why I like to do this is because of the off chance that they do come up with a brilliant solution. You know that something is impossible. If you say how, it is very, very possible your players might say something like, well, obviously we can't climb over it, but I'm a master dwarf and I'm like the head of this, mining guild or whatever. I will just get my people to dig under it. It can't be as deep down as it is tall, right? I haven't thought about that, and that naturally surprises me as a DM. I might say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll allow it. How are you going to get your group together? And now that just becomes an impromptu mission. And that is going to be more engaging, and it's going to make your world feel super dynamic and very, very interactable. Now, if you're a player, you want to ask how to your DM as well. A lot of DMs, if you're feeling like your DM's telling you no, no, no a lot, it's because 5th edition especially doesn't offer a lot of mechanics to DMs, and so a lot of DMs are going to feel pressured, almost like their back is against the wall if you're asking them to do a lot of things and the DM hasn't considered mechanics for those things. They might just tell you no as a knee-jerk reaction, because that's so much easier than potentially saying yes to one thing and then breaking your entire campaign later on because you said yes to one thing before, and now the players expect that same adjudication later, and that leads to antagonistic DMing. And so what I would say is that it's going to make you a better player if you ask your DM how you can do things. Now the ball is in your DM's court, and now that is your time as the dungeon master to call for some checks, some knowledge checks, to call for some history rolls to see what their character might be able to discern. Your player wants to engage with your world, and you need to give them some solutions. Don't be a stingy DM. Don't be a DM who says no for the sake of it. Be a how DM, and if the answer is truly that you don't know, then just say that. Say, I'm going to adjudicate it this way for now, but after the session we're going to come up with some real mechanics. I noticed that you like to climb every wall you come across. Why don't we just come up with some wall climbing mechanics that your player can engage in, but I'll just rule this way this time, and we'll talk about it after the session. I have had players literally thank me after the session, like, thank you, this is so fun, like, I can't believe you made this mechanic for me. And it's because I at the table just acknowledge that I don't have the tools for this. I'm gonna have to build something. So as a player and as a DM, we want to be using the word how as much as possible, and as a DM we want to be staying away from the word no as much as possible. But there are going to be times where you do need to use the word no. Something is just impossible, and it's going to be a waste of everybody's time role-playing through something that you know will eventually be a failure. And it is your duty at that point as the dungeon master to spare your players that frustration, to spare them that, because they're going to feel like, man, I wasted my time, I made all these checks. And I have made that mistake too as a DM, being a little bit too simulationist. In a meta sense, we're all adults, we have lives. We can't be spending 2 hours of the one night we get to play D&D wasting our time. Spare your players that frustration. And when they are coming across something that's genuinely going to be a waste of their time, you just say no. But when you say no, it should be attached to a big old juicy but. If the answer is genuinely no, and you know that they're going to waste their time, give them a crumb that leads them in the right direction. Can we climb this wall? No. But you have heard of Griffin Brigade, who is known to give travelers a ride, ferry them across the wall for a hefty fee, of course. Now the players have a lead. They know that they can't climb over the wall, but they have something else that they can latch onto if they want to. If they're like, hey, we see something shining at the bottom of this lake, can we go down? You as the DM may know that it's impossible. They're going to drown if they try. Now you as the DM have two tools. Are you going to say how? And now they're back to playing that game and figuring out, can we go to town? Can we talk to an NPC? Can we get a boat? Or are you going to take the more, what I would consider to be the secondary approach? I would stay away from saying no at all if possible. But if you have to, then I would say no, but, and then give them another tidbit. No, but you have heard of a witch who has been known to sell gillyweed, which if brewed into a potion will give you the ability to breathe underwater. Whatever the hell you want to say, it's your game. But then give them that breadcrumb and send them on their way. So the goal is to be understanding. We're all playing D&D together, and we want to take this journey together. It's the how journey, Maybe the DM doesn't know how something is supposed to work, so let us figure it out. You need to role play going through this process, and I will call the checks as they come across. And maybe we will discover mechanics that work. Maybe we'll discover this beautiful emerging quest that happens. Maybe we'll discover some other storylines. But you completely cut that out when you say no. And you also rob yourself of the DM giving you more roleplay options and chances as a player when you just ask flat out if you can do something rather than asking the DM how you should go about accomplishing something. It'll make the DM feel like you respect the game and not like you're just trying to break it or trying to get things to fall out of them, like trying to get prizes to fall out of them. Because no DM really wants to feel like their players are always asking for things without giving back, without role playing, without giving the DM anything to work with. And so you'll find that your DM is going to be letting the clouds open a lot more when you start asking how you can do these things. And you're going to start coming across more powers, you're going to start coming across more spells you can use, you're going to start coming across more NPCs that can help you, and you're going to get way more out of your game when you do that. But these are the breadcrumbs that I have for you, and so before I send you on your way for the day, I just want to say thank you for watching the video, especially especially if you made it all the way to the end, please consider liking and please subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. It's a small click for you, but to us, it makes all the difference, especially because we want to be doing this full time. We would love to keep putting out videos and providing tools for dungeon masters and for players to make those games run much more smoothly. And so if you watch all the way to the end, like I said, thank you so much. Please check out the Dragon Rider campaign, which airs on Fridays. It is a homebrew campaign that I run, and you get to see me DM and use all of these tools that I teach you here and get to see me practice what I preach. But anyway, enjoy your weekend, have a great time, be safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.